So I will use the next few minutes to tell you guys our story, and it's really a story that comes in 3 chapters. The first chapter is e-commerce and the tremendous growth opportunity ahead of us. The second chapter is banks and how they're not lending to small businesses. And the third chapter is technology and how we take advantage of technology to our benefit and lend to these businesses. So I will kick off with the first chapter, e-commerce. eBay and Amazon is a $200 billion opportunity. $200 billion is the total sales volume that were traded on these platforms in 2012. And these platforms are growing fast. They're growing 7 to 10 times general retail sales, and they're growing substantially faster than the e-commerce industry as a whole. But I'd like you to look a bit behind the scenes, and that's something that very few people appreciate. There are 2 million small businesses that are standing behind these platforms. These are the companies that really do fulfill the order once you have bought something on these platforms and that deliver the parcel to your home or to your office space or wherever you want to have them delivered to. In the UK alone, there are about 300,000 companies that are living or making their living by trading on eBay, Amazon, or through their own web stores. And while these numbers appear to be already massive, we're still at the very beginning of a very long trend. Only 6% of all retail sales are transacted online. So I leave it up to your imagination where we're going to be in 10, 15, 20, or 30 years with an increasing adoption of the internet and ever better technology to deliver a product to the place where you want to have it in a certain period of time where you want to have it delivered. So I'd like to switch to the second chapter, banks and how they're not lending to small businesses. And I don't want to bore you with any details about statistics about bank lending, because I'm sure by now you've been hearing a lot of this over the last few years. I want you to look at this with the eyes from one of our customers. So as an example, think about you're running a small business that is selling kids' toys through eBay and Amazon. You're generating a revenue annual of about £250,000. And you're not only selling in the UK, you're also selling to Germany, France, the US, and possibly also Australia and Japan. So you set up your company, you're up and running, you proved the concept, and now you want to grow, you're ambitious. What you really need is working capital. Working capital to buy more stock that you can then list on these platforms. Working capital to invest in technology so that you become more efficient and increase the capacity. And capital to employ more employees that you require for the ever-increasing number of orders that you need to fulfill. So you walk into your local bank and ask for a business loan. And the conversation would go something around the following lines. How much capital would you like to borrow? About 10 to 15,000 pounds. And what kind of security can you give us? I have an awful lot of kids' toys that I can give you. Nothing else, no real assets, no machinery, something that is depreciating over a very long time period and that we can value. No, this is really my global trading business. I'm trading in kids' toys. And you're saying you're trading on eBay and Amazon? Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, that's not really a field that we have a lot of expertise in here at Banks XYZ. And you're saying, how long are you trading? About 2.5 years now. Oh, fantastic. Why don't you come back in 6 months when you have a 3-year track record and we can look at it again? So, clearly this customer leaves the bank branch rather frustrated, rather than encouraged to take this additional risk of taking capital to invest into his company and grow the operations and create employment. So coming home, and now I'm turning to the last chapter, the technology chapter, he can go back to his desk, log in, comes to our website, www.iwoca.co.uk, signs up and applies for working capital. The entire process only takes him about 3 to 5 minutes. During this time period, simultaneously, while he's typing in, we are processing this data And we would go out to the platforms, eBay, Amazon, possibly Facebook, possibly Twitter, possibly other data platforms that he is giving us access to during this time period. And we would collect thousands of data points about his real trading history on all of these platforms. This is big data in the sense that it's a very structured data set. It's not millions of data points, but it's thousands. And it's very structured, and it gives us a very concrete idea of who has come to us to apply for working capital. We can see every single product that they have been selling over the last 12 months. We see the prices, we see the type of product, we can detect the seasonality, we can see the volatility of their trades, we can compare this, how they're trading compared to their peers, to get a relative understanding of how well he's performing in this group. And the best of all, about 80% of all transactions on eBay have feedback. We can see what his customers think of his service. If the product has arrived on time, if it was genuine, if it corresponded to the descriptions that it had. That's data that is very, very valuable in assessing his business performance. We, of course, overlay also the credit information that we receive from credit reference agencies, as more traditional lenders would do. So by the time he finalized this application, we already know who this person is, and our proprietary algorithm can say if that person corresponds to risk profile that we have and if we can provide working capital or not. So without having left his office, he knows by the afternoon if the cash can be in his bank account a few hours later or not. That, I think, is a service that a small business wants to see from its finance providers. Because a small business owner, you want to concentrate on what you're best at trading and growing your business. And we founded the company in October 2011. We started trading in March last year. By now, we have completed more than 1,000 transactions. We are one of the top 20 startups in the UK, nominated by startups.co.uk. We are on the European FinTech 50 watch list, and recently Lord Young appointed us to be part of the Accelerator 250 list, which he describes as the 250 companies forming UK businesses in the future. How big are we going to be? I leave that question open again, but think about the 75 billion pounds market here in the UK of banks lending to small businesses, and there are 4 of them who have about 80% market share. So I think some of this we will grab in the future, and we're in the middle of a fundraising round. So if some of you have a few millions in dry powder, please come and see me. Thank you very much.